Welcome to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Sandra Nomoto. Sandra is a vegan foodie, content writer, editor, and wife on a mission to empower others to make small, meaningful decisions and actions that will help make the world a better place. She believes we're all connected by a divine energy and that we're here to help each other be our best selves and stewards of our planet. Stick around. I want to introduce her to you. Hi, Sandra. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on, Nancy, and happy World Vegan Month.
Yes, I'm so excited for that because we're making so many inroads now that, it's getting bigger and more people are noticing it. So that is great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree.
And you are in Vancouver, Canada. Are you from there originally, or did you move there?
Yeah, my parents immigrated to Montreal from the Philippines originally, and that's where I was born, my older sister and I. And then we moved out here, and my little brother was born. So I've pretty much been raised in Vancouver.
Awesome. So, Sandra, tell me about your journey into veganism.
Yes, it started at the end of 2007 when I saw a screening of Earthlings at the University of British Columbia. And this was a couple of years after that movie came out. So I hadn't heard of it before. And just the movie really hit me hard. And the woman who was doing a Q&A at the end from the Vancouver Humane Society said the biggest impact, the biggest thing we can do to help these animals is to stop eating meat. And that just really stuck with me. And so it took me a couple years to phase meat out of my diet because that's what my diet was growing up. And I would say I was pescatarian for a good number of years, never really liked seafood or even eggs. Just kind of, ate that out at restaurants if I was dining out. For the most part, I was eating a vegetarian diet with the goal of eventually becoming vegan. I just didn't set a time for myself or a goal in terms of time. And it wasn't until 2017 I gave up seafood finally. And then 2018, I was still eating some dairy, but had developed a lot of digestive issues that my doctors could not diagnose. I had done all these tests. They offered me supplements and I didn't want to take them every day. So finally, I just had this really bad bout of pain and acid reflux. It always happens in the middle of the night. And I went back to my naturopath around the spring of 2018 and said, I need to just really get at the core of this. And so she advised me to take a food sensitivity test. I found out I was sensitive to dairy, which I have recently discovered over half of the population of people of color are either sensitive, allergic, or, lactose intolerant. And so she advised me to do a cleanse, remove these things from your diet for 4 months, see how you feel afterwards, incorporating them. And I just went, after that 4 months of cutting out dairy, I went, you know what, I can do this. Like I'm officially vegan now. That was the goal. So that was spring of 2018 and I've never looked back. And have slowly, started trying to eliminate more of the animal products. So in my clothing and everyday life.
That is awesome. Congratulations for taking the move. And now, can you talk to me about what you do? You help people write or businesses write copy, especially those of cruelty-free nature. So can you tell us about that?
Yes, I started this business in early 2020, so just before the pandemic hit. Just decided to use my communication and writing skills that I had used in my previous business in public relations to really help the vegan industry. So on my website, you'll say I cater to cruelty-free businesses. What I really mean by that is vegan businesses, because it's not just enough to not test on animals. Really, your business needs to not have animals involved in it at all. I just use the word cruelty free just because some people get scared by the word vegan and think, oh, like I did have a former client actually come to me and say, I want to work with you again. Do I need to be vegan? And I said, no, it'd be great if you were, obviously, but so long as your business is, that's really what I'm looking for. So as long as, your business is vegan, you need some help with your content, whether it be your website copy, your newsletters, your blogs and articles. That's a lot of what I do. And in very special cases, your social content. That's what I can help with.
That is great. And so, and you have a website, which I will share, where you also have a blog and you talk about spirituality as well.
Yeah, so my website came before this business. So it still has a lot of content around self-development, spirituality, vegan lifestyle. It's sort of a mishmash. I also have more content tips in there. So it's turned out to be a mishmash of my personal life and business. But you touched on the spirituality part. The reason why that's there is because I also have services for authors. So I'm looking to work with either vegan authors or spiritual authors who have a really cool story around maybe transitioning to veganism, or if you've encountered some sort of, just a compelling spiritual experience and you want to put that into a memoir, I would love to, help with editing, formatting, ghostwriting if you need help with that. And so, so a lot of my blog content now is around spiritual books, because that's the genre that I know. So those are the folks that I'd love to work with as well.
That is great. And tell me, so you are of, did you say Filipino background?
Yes, my parents are Filipino,
Do you have any favorite special Filipino food that you have converted to vegan?
That's a great question. I attempted at vegan lumpia, which are egg rolls, typically stuffed with pork and vegetables. I attempted to make them vegan on my own, and it was a bit of a disaster because I used rice wrap instead of like the traditional. It is egg traditionally, but there are some vegan wraps out there that I can do. I just have not after the first attempt, I just kind of I haven't tried again, basically. But there are places where you can get them frozen. And there's a restaurant here in town that has a vegan menu as well. So shout out to Culinaria in Vancouver. But it's the cuisine. I just found, because when I started to cook for myself, I just didn't maintain a lot of the Filipino recipes, so that they didn't stay when I transitioned to veganism. So I just let the experts make them. I'm happy to buy frozen or to go to the restaurant. Maybe someday I'll have the confidence to try more dishes on my own.
Well, that is something that I am going to suggest that you do, because I happen to love lumpias. I had
who doesn't? Yeah,
exactly. How could you not? And then so I have tried them, and I do make them vegan, because I used to have some Filipino friends who we used to get together and cook before I was vegan. And so they were showing me how to do all those things. And my thing is that everything that I used to eat before, I still eat, except cruelty free. So I've taken all the recipes, whether it be Indian, fare, Italian, Greek, whatever it is, I just did them in a manner that was cruelty free and vegan, and they turned out just fine.
Amazing. So I need to get that recipe from you. And thank you for reminding me. I just got some seitan yesterday at the vegan grocery store here called Vegan Supply. Upton's Naturals, I think is the name of the company. They typically, I didn't know they made seitan. So I saw it in the store. I grabbed it. So I think I will attempt adobo. The Filipino version of adobo, typically with chicken. So I'll attempt it with seitan, and then maybe I'll put some potatoes in there. So you have given me some newfound confidence. Thank you, Nancy.
You could do it. You could do it. You just have to make you just have to make your kitchen a laboratory, an experimental place. I like to call it like my canvas. Instead of putting on paints, spices, and all this food that celebrates life, and see what you come up with. Awesome.
Exactly.
Any words that you want to leave us with about veganism, your journey, or anything?
Yeah, just if you're thinking about making the transition, you haven't been able to do it yet, just know it is so possible. Like I said, I grew up with a huge meat diet, Filipino cuisine. And I did it over a number of years. There's no rush to do it. And in fact, I tell people it's probably better for your system to do it in stages. Talk to a nutritionist who can help you with that. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. And it really is the best kind of lifestyle for us, for the animals, and for the environment. So you can do it.
Yes, you can. Yes, vegan.
Yes, we can.
Well, Sandra, thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. And
You too, Nancy.
Be well. I will have all your social media information on our website and share it with people. And I encourage people, if you need someone to help you with editing, copywriting, or writing your memoirs, to contact Sandra. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember to like our Facebook page, check out our website, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss an episode. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.